let's go out to, as Texans call it, Southern Canada. Let's go out to Oklahoma and talk to Tyler. What's up, Tyler?
Hey, how are you?
Just dancing like it's
Nice.
1999. What's up?
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I wrote my question down. Can I just read it?
Of course.
Awesome. So, so there's a group of parents. There's about 5 families from our kids' school, and we spend a lot of time with them. We do a lot of baseball games, baseball practices, school events, and we started hanging out with everyone outside of that on like weekend trips, birthday dinners, random outings. And the girls do dinner outings, and the guys, we all play in like a softball league together. And, we thought we were in the group and we did all these events together and we were close with everyone, but we found out that the rest of the group celebrated someone's birthday in the group without us. And that stung pretty good. And when we asked about their evening the next day at one of the kids' games, the group wasn't quite honest with us, which hurt. And, we found out that night on social media what was going on. And we thought we were close with all these families, but the omission made us really question it. And so my question is, how do we build meaningful relationships with these families that goes beyond just, doing these random things that turns into a real friendship? We see a lot of potential in them. And ever since this event, it really, started making us question everything.
Mm. Yeah, that stinks, man, to feel like to be left out, huh?
Yeah, it did. It hurt pretty good.
Do you have a guess?
Well, we have a little bit of an update. I don't know if this is a guess. We started thinking about our, relationship with all of them and noticed that there's a little bit of a socioeconomic gap between us and them. And so I think we were embarrassed by that. And so we weren't inviting people to go out, one-on-one or like double dates or anything like that for a while. And since this event, we just talked, my wife and I talked about just getting over ourselves and inviting them to our house, even though it's real small compared to them, things like that. And we've started to notice that's actually helped a little bit. And just when we're around everyone, like leaning in and being extra, relational about, what's going on with their life.
I think that what you just said is really, really important. And I think that type of reflection is hard these days, but I'm proud of y'all for doing that. So if I hear you right, they do pretty well. Y'all aren't at the same level as they are. And y'all have some self-consciousness about it.
Yeah, there's that. And we were burned by some friends in the past, and I think there's a little bit of that too. So
how are you burned in the past?
We had some real close friends that just started getting really weird with the mans in the friend group, and then started just acting like not great to one another, a little bit of backstabbing. And so we removed ourselves from that friend group through some time and space, and we actually moved cities too. So
how'd you get burned by it?
I think we were hurt with, so one of them rented one of our houses, which was probably not the smartest decision.
Correct.
And they came in, we thought it would be like wonderful and, maintain the friendship. And then they one day at dinner, slid a list of demands on updates to the house that they expected us to make. And then just started, demanding different things as tenants, which, hindsight is 2020. We probably wouldn't do that again.
You made a friend. You allowed a friendship to turn into a business transaction.
Yeah.
That's tough. I often push back. Sometimes I get a lot of flack for it, and that's fine. I think it's not wise to be best buddies with the person who writes your paycheck.
Oh, yeah. I think we learned that. We won't do that again.
Right. Here's what I'm hearing a pattern of. You guys wade into something, and then you just get hurt. Hurts our feelings. And it sounds like you guys made probably not the wisest move by allowing some friends to move into a house that needed some work done on it. And maybe your friends were a little over the top with their requests.
Sure.
But my guess is once they made those requests, you were like, yeah, that's for sure that friend of ours. Like, of course they would do that to anybody. We knew that. Like, now that we see it, we're like, oh, yeah, that's how they would do that to any landlord. It wasn't just personal. And they probably were like, dude, like they got to do these. Of course they got to do these things. You see what I'm saying? And then you have new friends that you're like, well, we're kind of embarrassed because our house is small. Like and they might have all got together and been like, hey, let's just we're trying to help y'all out. We don't want to embarrass y'all because they clearly see what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally.
I think there's something about going reckless all in, and reckless all in. Who cares how big your house is? And then
that's kind of where we're at now. We don't know how to take it to that next step after that. Like if we go all reckless, like what does that look like? It feels like dating without a guidebook.
Only if you're doing this for ROI purposes. I hang out with my friends because I like my friends. Like I don't have a reference point for like how many times and are they doing this without us and what about this? I expect my friends to have other friends. And I'm not dating them, so like when I was exclusive with my wife, if she was going out with other boys, I would be like, "Hey, what's the deal?" But she didn't do that. I don't have that same expectation for my adult friends. I just firmly expect my adult friends, especially my new ones, to have friends with other adults.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And I think we acknowledge that. And I think we just want to know just how to build meaningful relationships, not for an ROI.
Invite people over.
And just keep getting over it. Just continue to lean into that.
Yeah. I mean, nothing you've told me sounds weird. It sounds like a group of people of means said, hey, we want to do birthday party X. We don't want them to feel weird because they clearly don't want us around. They don't even have us to their house. They don't come to things whenever we're going on double dates, whatever. Let's just do this together. And it sounds like they might have been trying to do it to help y'all out because they don't want to make y'all feel awkward.
Yeah, sure. I think that's what we started telling ourselves, the positive narrative, how you spun it. And then in inviting them in, it's gotten a lot, like we feel like the relationships are even better and like we're closer with people and they enjoyed being at our house. You know, we enjoy being around them. And we've even done more stuff on the weekend since leaning in. I think that initial hurt and just not being honest with us, it just hurt. It hurts finding stuff out like that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I get that. I think you'll have some pretty firm expectations, some high expectations, especially being a new group to a new town with some potentially established friendships. And also holding it with an open hand.
We all came together at the same time. So, and we've been hanging out for about 3 years, right at the start of COVID.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so. I wouldn't overthink it. And I've got some new friends that I made here in my town, in my rural community. They're amazing. David, Ricky, some of these guys are incredible. They're awesome. And they get together once a month or something to play, is it Dungeons and Dragons? Some game, right? They've never one time asked, hey, would you like to come over and play this game with us? I think they just kind of know. It's not really my jam. They get together, dude. They get snacks. They stay up all night. It's this whole thing. They're inviting their boys in. Not one time have I ever been invited. And would I like to be invited? That'd be awesome. Would I ever go? Never. Right? And they know that. And so I'm so excited that my friends have this weird thing they do. And I've never invited them to heavy metal band practice. I don't even know if they can play instruments. See what I'm saying? Like, I would take the hurt and the dating language kind of out of it. I mean, it's cool to be like, man, honey, I wish we got invited to the birthday party. Yeah. We need to make sure we invite everybody when we do it. I'm kind of moving on with my day. I'm not going to give them that. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. That makes total sense. Yeah.
And then, like you mentioned, when you start opening up, that's what people always ask me, how do I make friends? I always say, you go first and you be weird. Because waiting for somebody else to go first or waiting for somebody else to invite you, waiting for somebody else to be vulnerable first, then it's just this weird, do-si-do, here we go, like promenade your partner on the old oak tree kind of thing. Like everyone's just dancing around the reality. And so it's something else when you invite somebody over, like, this is my house. This is how we roll. And
yeah, that makes total sense. I think that we've realized that we were closed off and potentially it was on our shoulders for not being open first. And so we need to keep leaning in.
I would just keep being weird, dude. I'd keep being weird. And if a group of friends decides quietly they don't want you around, you can do one of two things. You can say, hey, man, I know this y'all like a lot of stuff been going on. You don't invite me. Have I made this weird? Or am I awkward or something? And they might say, yeah, dude, like here's the X and the Y and the Z. Or they might say, no, dude, we just want to be like, we know every time we go out, you guys don't eat, or we don't want to make it weird. Or our kids have more in common with X or with Y. I see that happen a lot too, that the kids say, hey, our kid doesn't want to hang out with these kids. And so the parents kind of drift that way too. It could be any number of things. At the end of the day, of course, grieve it. Man, we thought these were our friends and they're not. Or we thought these were our friends and they lied to us. That sucks. And then we're going to be about grieving it and then moving on to what's next. But it sounds like you guys have a pattern of having expectations about a relationship that the other party doesn't have, and then getting, as you say, hurt when those expectations aren't met across the board. And so I'd either be super clear about my expectations or, dude, just kind of loosen your grip on it a little bit. Y'all aren't dating. These are just grown-up friends navigating a whole, like work and family and kids, all of it, all the sports, all of it all together. Hold it with some empty hands. My guess is you're going to start spending more and more time with people, fewer and fewer people, and those relationships are going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. Be awesome. Hang in there, brother.